Hi everyone, this is Gleb Bakhmudov, and today I'm going to show you how to use the new NPM registry package publishing process. So this is an example of a repo. It's called Cypress Recurse. It's a pretty popular plugin that I made for Cypress. And I noticed that the release step, the release job in the workflow is failing. We can look at the release to see the error, and it says semantic release error, invalid NPM token. In November of 2025, NPM registry disable NPM tokens for everyone and disable publishing with NPM token from CI. It always requires two-factor authentication or trusted publishing process. I described how to set up the new trusted publishing process from GitHub Actions to NPM registry, so let me show you the same steps from this blog post, but in action. Let's fix Cypress Recurse release process. So the first thing we want to do, we want to go to NPM registry. We want to go to packages under my account, Cypress Recurse. Let's come right here, go on the settings. We need to enter two-factor authentication, one-time password or OTP token. I'm gonna use my authenticator app. Give me a second to find it. 632237 and okay, well, it was right at the edge of a timer, so let's try the next one. 477901. Click login. Okay, so trusted publisher. It gives us a couple of choices: GitHub Actions, GitLab CI, or Circle CI. I'm gonna use GitHub Actions because that's what I use for majority of my public packages. The repo is under my last name, and repository is Cypress Recurse, and inside the workflow file name is CI YAML file. If I go to the repo in VS Code, you can see it's .github/workflows/CI YAML file. This is our workflow as it is right now. So now that we specify our workflow name, we don't have a specific environment, so we'll just say setup connection. We have to enter OTP token again, so 085001, login, and you should see successfully added new trusted publisher connection. Okay, we can see the connection. We have to update the workflow. And the first thing, just before I forget, I want to go into the settings for the repo under, let's say, I don't know, secrets and variables under actions. So we have this NPM token. It's no longer necessary. Okay, I need to authenticate with GitHub now. So let me do that really quickly. 80 approve. Perfect. So now let's go back to actions and let's look at workflow file on the main branch and needs all three jobs to pass. We are checking out the code, we run the linter, and then we run semantic release action, and we no longer need NPM token. So the only thing that's this workflow missing is the appropriate token for GitHub to authenticate with NPM register. And the way we do this is by giving permissions to the token. Now, the easiest way is to go back to my blog post, scroll down to the end, and I give an example workflow that you can just copy paste. The steps are the same, except for node 24. We're going to look at that if it's necessary later, but we need to copy the permissions for the job. So I'm going to paste them right here. So why we need these permissions? When we make a release, we're writing the tag and the release zip archive back to GitHub. So we need this job to be able to write back to GitHub. So that's why contents, right? Because we're using semantic release, we want to comment on all issues that are covered by the release. And so we need to be able to write to the issues a message like the fix has been released in version 1.2.3. Also, semantic release comments on pull requests. It's really convenient to look at the merge pull requests and see a little comment from semantic release process saying this has been released in version 1.2.3.4. And finally, the ID token. We need to be able to write the token and then give it this authentication to provide it to NPM registry, so it knows that this publishing step to NPM register is coming from a trusted provider, GitHub Actions. So we need all those four. Okay, let's see if we fixed it. So I'm gonna go back to my repo and I'm gonna say fix the release process, and gReady is just my shortcut for committing with a message and then pushing to the origin my changes. So in a single command I can commit everything and push. Let's go back to the action. You can see that it has started. Let's see what the release step tells us. While this is working, make sure to read the blog post. I put a lot of screenshots kind of explaining the steps for the new NPM publishing using GitHub Actions, but GitHub CI and Circle CI are pretty much the same. Okay, the testing jobs are running. I'm using Cypress Split to run everything in parallel using a reusable GitHub Actions workflow that I've written. Okay, the release job is running. Let's go inside, see the steps. Okay, one thing right here, notice that Ubuntu 22 by default has Node version 20, and some of the tooling now already needs like Node 22.10, 24. Let's see if our semantic release is okay. I think it's okay. Notice there are no errors. It publishes new NPM version, comments on the issues and any pull requests, and see like added comment to PR. Okay, it added labels to pull requests, and I believe it adds labels to the issues if any were closed between previous and the current release. I think all these pull requests are coming from Renovate that bumps dependencies, tests them, merges them. So that's why there's so many, even though it was a very small release. It's just the release process did not happen in a couple months. All right, I think this is it. Let's double check. If I go to Code tab, 137.2, published just now. If I go to NPM, and if I look under versions, we have 137.2 that is the latest just published. All right, so this is how you configure GitHub Actions to publish NPM packages to the NPM registry.